Hello guys, welcome to Minecraft. I am Sovereign. We're doing a short video today, but it's a time-lapse video. I was talking to you guys about it a couple videos back, actually. I'm not sure if I'm going to get this video out in between episodes of us working on our new forge, or if it's going to be after. I'm not really sure. But I've been kind of putting it off, because like I said in one of the videos previous to this one, I've probably put in 30 to 40 hours, doing this project, so it was a lot of footage to sort through, and I really didn't want to do it, and then eventually I was like, well, I'm going to have to do a video, on the ocean monument here, like actually a live recording with commentary, and I got to show you this first, I can't just jump to that and be like, yeah, I did all this stuff without you guys seeing it, so, yeah, here's the video. Right now, you'll see I'm just getting a ton of sand, and I'm talking hundreds, if not 1,000 or more blocks, guys. You're going to need a lot of sand to do this. Now, if you're thinking about doing something like this yourself, I definitely have advice for you, and I would recommend that you take it. Because this is my third time draining an ocean monument, and it was by far the easiest this time. It's still a pain in the butt. However, the first time I did it was about 70 hours, if I remember correctly. I might have said something different, but I don't know. And then the second time, I believe, was about 50 hours. I think that was in season 2. I believe I said that, about 45, 50 hours, something like that. Yeah. And then this time was about 30 to 40 hours, probably closer to 30. So I got faster each time. And, that's really mostly has to do with preparation. So again, I'm going to kind of just use this video as a little bit more of a tutorial, and not just really freestyle talk. Because this is a big project, and it's a difficult project, and there's things that you can do that'll make life so much easier on yourself. So first and foremost, again, you're going to need a lot of sand, a lot of sand. Now, before you even begin this project, you could do this early game if you wanted to, but I would recommend you not even start it until you have really good equipment, good armor, good tools, plenty of food, all the stuff that you're going to need, really. Seriously. If you can get like respiration and aqua affinity and depth strider, that would help a lot more as well too. It's a pain when you're moving through water slow. Excuse me. So yeah, have great equipment. Stock up, guys. If you are playing a world and you intend to do this, I would recommend that as you're playing, if you happen to run through a sand area, a desert, just grab what you can on your way through, and just stash it away for later when you do this project. It's easier to do it over the course of time, than to do it all at once, because then it's like, oh my god, when am I going to be done? So yeah, and then bring the proper tools and equipment to make a beacon. Now, as you'll see here, I had a lot of the ocean ground in the way of my monument, so I needed to cut that away. I brought a beacon and put haste 2 on it, and that probably saved me about 10 hours worth of mining alone. So, but even if you don't need haste, if your monument has spawned in perfectly on totally flat ground, maybe bring, a beacon and use a buff for speed or for regeneration, because I did die quite a few times, in this process too. Those guardians, man, and I am playing on hard as well. As you'll see there, I got potion stands, bring plenty of potions. You'll want some night vision, because you can see so much easier when you're down under the water with a night vision potion, as well as water breathing. So just know, again, these are all things that you're going to need to kind of stock up on as you're playing, before you do this. So you'll need to fish, and get puffer fish, and, you'll need to get all the things required to do so. Gold, carrots, for the, night vision. So yeah, be prepared, you guys. Definitely bring a beacon again and use it for whatever you need it for most. Again, in my situation, it was haste. As I had been collecting sand, knowing I was going to be doing this project, I'd also been cooking a lot of it up, while I was busy building other things in the world. That's why my forge is basically always running. And so that's why I have all this glass. You're going to want to surround, you don't have to, but I always surround mine in glass because it looks really neat. And I'm surrounding the entire thing in glass. And then the sand that you're going to use to grid this thing off, man. And just know the gridding is such a grind. Really, it takes so long, and it's so boring. You know, it's just like, it's killer. You know, I mean, you're going to want it to be over with as soon as possible, but it takes a while. You know, you're going to need to lay down grids with the sand, and you will see me do it here in just a minute. But yeah, you're going to need to lay down grids. I recommend the dimension on the inside of the grids to be 5 by 5, which means you'll lay the sand 6 by 6. If you do it smaller than that, you're going to end up laying way more grids than you need and wasting time. And if you make it bigger than that, you're going to be having to use a lot more sponges and going through them faster, and thus you're going to have to put them all in your forge sooner to dry them, and will be wasting time. You know, in my experience, this being the 3rd time I've done this now, I would have to say that 5 by 5 interior with your grids is the most efficient. But that's just my opinion. You know, I don't know, you guys might have a different one if you've done this before. You know, whatever yours is, go for it. You know, I mean, whatever works for you. But this is my opinion. You know, if you've never done this before, I would recommend taking my advice, because I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, and I mean, it's just a huge undertaking. Of course, you're going to want to get rid of the Elder Guardians before you even begin this. You know, they'll give you the mining fatigue and all that stuff, you know, before you really even get rolling. Go to several ocean monuments if you can find them, and just totally raid the sponge rooms, because you're going to need a lot of sponges to do this. The more sponges you have, the longer you can work without having to stop to let them dry. You know, or you can, like I have, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, near 2 stacks, something like that. I don't know. So I would basically use up a stack and then let 1 stack dry while I was then using the 2nd stack, you know, to get rid of the water. You know, so you make these grids, and once you're done making them, again, interior space 5 by 5, you'll just place sponges against the walls of the grids, you know, and go down, you know, and suck up all the water. You need to do it in a grid pattern, because if you don't, and you just lay sponges around, you know, you've got such a huge body of water around you, it'll just pull right back in and make, you know, brand new source blocks, and you'll just waste your time and your resources, and you'll be very frustrated. You know, so just know, this is going to take you a long time. You know, this probably took me a couple weeks of constant play to finally get it to where it is right now, which, where it is right now, is totally drained, and right there where my beacon is sitting, I've cut down that top middle section, because as you know, I'm planning to make it a farm, and that's where my farm will go. So it's basically build ready at the moment. There's still probably a few things I need to cut away off of it, you know, and there might even be a few more hidden rooms that I couldn't find that have water in them. And I'll know if they do or not, because as I'm working to get the farm going, if I hear guardians, I'll know they're spawning in water in a room that I missed somewhere. So just know it's going to be a huge undertaking. You know, just make sure you're ready for it, guys. Very quickly, I would like to take a drink. Okay, but actually what I was going to say was, very quickly, I would like to thank a couple people. You know, first of all, thank you to any of those of you who've ever contributed to my Patreon, you know, and helped me out. It's needed, you know, I mean, it is, so thank you. Secondly, Catherine, I would very much like to thank Catherine. I've been hurting for money, and you know what, out of the kindness of her heart, she just offered to help me out. You know, it took me a little while to accept, because it's you know, it's hard for me to do that, because I don't want anybody thinking that I'm doing this for the money. I'm not. It would be great if one day I could make a living off of it, you know, and do it full time and get out even more stuff for you, you know, and go to conventions. I would love to be able to go to Minecon one year, you know, and meet with the fans and stuff. That would be so killer. But, you know, I'm not going to say how much she gave me, because I think that's not really something that I should say. But I did just want to thank her. Catherine, thank you so much, you know, for helping me out. You gave my kids a Christmas, which they otherwise would have not or barely had. So you don't know what that means to me. And then I also want to thank my good friend Sam. His channel is Men Who Stare at Games. You know, and Sam, he also asked to help me, and I gave him my information that he requested. I don't know how much he's going to give me, and even if I did know, again, you know, I wouldn't be telling you. But thank you, Sam, for your help. Actually, Sam has helped me, not necessarily monetarily, but in a lot of ways over the years. There was a time when I was sitting at around 300 to 400 subscribers, you know, and I met him when he was around 3,000 to 4,000. Well, I met him when he was at 2,000. I left a comment on one of his videos helping out to answer a question that his viewers had that he wasn't sure of, you know. And then when he grew to about 3,000 to 4,000, you know, we'd been talking for a little while then and became friends. You know, I had 300 to 400 subscribers, and he had 3,000 to 4,000. You know, and I just felt like my channel was really grinding to a halt. You know, and I was feeling like I wasn't posting anything worth watching, and I did post a video saying I was gonna stop. And you know, he saw that, and he ripped me a new one. Basically, you know, tough love major. He's like, you know, there's something special about you. I don't know what it is, but you're the guy who's gonna make it. You know, and he just said, you know, he cussed a lot. And he's basically like, you know, just effing stop feeling sorry for yourself. You know, get back up on that horse, man. You know, he refused to let me quit. So, and you know, he's been there for me a lot. So, without him, I wouldn't be here today. So, you know, big thank you for that in and of itself. But, you know, again, I did want to thank him because he's going to be helping me out financially as well. And, you know, I do feel bad taking that help. But I need it. You know, so thank you very much for any of those of you who've ever helped me in any way on Patreon or whatever. It really does mean a lot, and you know, it keeps the roof over our head a little longer. So I just wanted to give a quick shout to those guys. But you know, let's get back to the video. So now you'll see that I've drained about half of this thing. Now actually, yeah, I've drained exactly half of this thing right now. And you know, the quickest way to get rid of those sand columns, knock out the bottom block and then quickly place a torch. You know, just letting you know, because I mean, if you know, decide to use a shovel to dig down each sand column, it's going to take you forever. So, you know, just do the smart thing, guys. When you're draining it and you're ready to remove the sand, use a torch. Knock out the bottom block and very, very quickly place a torch under it, and then the remaining blocks will fall, break, and become pick-upable items. If pick-upable is a word, I don't think it is, but you know. And then, of course, if you need more glass, the sand you no longer need to use, you can throw in your forge and have some more glass, because I am, again, enclosing this entirely in glass. You know, it just looks really cool when you come up to it. You know, I mean, there's this huge swath of ocean that's just empty. You know, there's a building in there with lights, and it's all cool, and I mean, you know, it's just really neat. It's a neat thing. So yeah, I definitely like to enclose mine in glass, but you can use whatever you want. You know, I mean, it takes a long time to smelt enough glass. I haven't done the math yet. I don't know exactly how much glass I've used yet, but I am going to do the math, and I will let you guys know exactly how many blocks of glass I have used. It's definitely over 1,000. I mean, I do know that. It's a lot, so yeah. You'll see right now, it looks like I'm floating in the air, but I'm actually standing on glass right now, putting glass over the roof of it. And I will be getting rid of my beacon soon, because I don't need it anymore. I've done all the mining. You know, that's where I usually start. I clear out the space first. You know, if you have an ocean monument that spawns with hills and stuff, you know, kind of blocking it and preventing it from having spawned in, you know, correctly, I recommend you dig all that out first. You know, get your ground ready. Get it down to the level you want it. And, you know, be careful, too, because, remember, an ocean monument is on the bottom of the floor of the sea, and, you know, you're pretty darn close to lava, and you can easily cut through and fall into some lava pools, you know, so just be very careful. You're most likely to find, you know, some caves or something while you're doing this. As you saw earlier in the video, there was actually part of an abandoned mine shaft that I had cut into, and, you know, that's actually how I found this monument. I went caving one day, you know, and I heard a weird sound, and it wound up being the sound of the death rays of the Guardians, you know, killing squids. So I popped my head up out of the sea floor, and there it was, you know, it was right next to a monument, and that's the one that I'm currently excavating. It's the one closest to my home, so the ones that I've gotten the sponges and stuff out of were the ones furthest from home. Because, you know, it makes sense to, if I'm going to be visiting this one more frequently, to make it closer to home, you know. Home is straight off in the direction the camera is facing right now. And, you know, it's only about a 10 to 15 second flight to get there, so it's nice and close. Again, just know it's going to take you a long time. You know, it's going to be frustrating. You'll probably die. You might drown. You know, just if you don't feel comfortable bringing your best equipment with you in case you know, if you're worried you're going to die and not be able to get it back and lose it, then don't do that. But if you know you can handle it, then go for it. I did die several times, and I was wearing all my best equipment, but I managed to run in there really quick, you know, get it back and bring it a little bit further away from the Guardians, and then I got killed again. You know, and then I go back, I pick it all up, and bring it a little further away, and then get killed again. And then eventually, you know, I drag it far enough away that I'm too far for the Guardians to get me, you know, and I don't die again. You know, you just want to grab it and scooch it away as much as you can before you die again, you know, if you die again. So, you know, I mean, not all is lost. I know it's, you know, it's a process, guys. But yeah, it's going to be so worth it in the end. It's going to be sick. You know, there's so many different things I want to do in this world. It's just insane. I mean, you know, I can't even really list most of them because there's so many, and I do want to kind of save some as a surprise. You know, also I mentioned in a video that I do want to do a world tour soon. I just kind of want to clean up things around the home base, you know, and I need a place for my nether portal. I need to get all those chests out of there. I need to get the bookcases out of there. And I know you guys want a world download, and I do plan to do that. However, there are different things I want to do before I do that, and I've said this in the previous video to this, the first part of building the forge. It's that I want to make it special for you. You know, when you finally get to come into my world for the first time and explore on your own, I'm going to include some hidden areas, you know, that you can find. And, I mean, you know, there's only so much I can do to make it, you know, cool without, like, I don't know, cheating. But, you know, I'll probably leave like written books or something and, you know, give you guys some interesting information about myself or share an interesting story or something. I don't know. There's going to be some neat little hidden areas, though, that I'm going to build for you. You know, and they will be hidden, so you will have to look for them. And, you know, when that day comes, I request that you do not tell anybody else where those areas are. If you find them, don't take away the joy of them finding them themselves, you know. So each area will, of course, look different, be a different theme. You know, it's just, I really want to do something special for you guys. You know, I don't just want to do a world download. I want to do something special, you know, because I don't know that other YouTubers have actually done that before. And if they have, you know, that's cool. But, I mean, I try to do things differently. You know, I try to make things my own, and that's kind of how I do it. You know, that being said, I feel like that's a big part of the reason why I am where I am today in YouTube. Thank you guys so much for that. I am one of the lucky ones. You know, there are hundreds of thousands, actually millions, of people uploading on YouTube. And you know what? So very few of them even come remotely close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. You know, and I'm near 20,000. I cannot believe that. You know, I mean, really, in the time that I was not uploading for like 3 months, the channel was growing an insane amount. I was very surprised because, you know, honestly, I mean, there's been many times where I've had to take hiatuses from YouTube because just, I swear, my family's cursed or something, you know, and when you take that long of a break from YouTube, you put your channel at risk. You know, I mean, honestly, if you go for more than a week or two without upload, you put your channel at risk. But I'm doing something, whatever it is, that has made my fans and subscribers really loyal to me. And you know, that is not lost on me, you guys. I thank you so, so much for that. There are so many other people you could be watching right now, and you're watching me. That's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I know I've said that before, but really, I just want you guys to know that the idea of that is not lost on me. I know that you could be going anywhere else for Minecraft content, and I know that you've waited very patiently for my return, and that's amazing. You know, you guys care enough that when I did come back, the response was overwhelmingly positive. So overwhelming that it was very, very hard for me not to cry, in a good way. You know, I mean, I've been going through a lot emotionally, and you know what? The first thing that you want when you've been going through something like that is to feel like you're cared about, you know, because when something like what happened to me, if you don't know, I really don't want to talk about it here. You can ask somebody in the comments, you know, but when something like that happens, you know, you feel like you're not enough, or you're not worth it, or you're not worth caring for. But, you know, you guys made me feel that way, and that's so, so important. So that's why I try my best to make you guys feel like I feel the same way about you. I want you to know I do. I can't get back to every comment. I get thousands of them a month now, you know, but I do a pretty good job, I think, of getting back to the majority of them. You know, I try, and I don't always get notified when I get a comment, which really drives me crazy. I don't know what the deal is, but, you know, just know that even if I don't get back to your comment, I still read every comment. And I usually try to remember to hit like a thumbs up or the love icon on your comment to let you know that I at least saw it and read it if I'm not able to reply to it, you know, by actually typing something back. But, you know, I just want you guys to know if I can't get to your comment, it's not because it wasn't good enough or I, you know, didn't care. It's just simply because I couldn't. And I'm never going to be one of those people who, like, hires somebody or whatever to, you know, answer comments in place of them and pretend like it's the person, because I'm not like that. No. You guys took time out of your day to watch my video and leave a comment for me, and I'm going to take my time to do the same for you. So just so you know. But yeah, video's just about done now, guys. You'll see the camera just kind of sitting still. You know, it's just such an amazing thing, and I thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys are doing much better than I've been. Thank you all for your support. I love you guys, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.